Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my brain dump for looking for a curriculum. I'm going to start this video and it's just going to be math, and I'm going to do that for my rising second, sixth, and seventh grader. And make sure you stick around because I will also do the ELA video as well for all three grade levels. And I want to know your thoughts. So don't hesitate to comment if you have something to say because I want to hear it. So first thing up is math. I am going to start with my seventh grader, and my name is Morgan here at the Life of Tillmans. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm glad to have you. If you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate all of you guys. So my seventh grader, the first thing I'm going to do is give you, she's not seventh grade, she's six right now, but for seventh grade, I'm going to give you guys just some background of where we've come with math. So we started out with just like those Spectrum math workbooks, and then teaching textbooks, and then Saxon math. She is currently doing Saxon math 7-6. So naturally, the progression will be to go with Saxon math 8-7. And she loves Saxon. She's doing very well with it. She does not want to change. However, I am a little bit torn. And she's doing, as I said, she's doing really well with it. We're toward the end of it. And so I'm thinking maybe we might do something different for pre-algebra. Reason being is because Saxon Math 4, which is 8-7, is their pre-algebra. And then they also have a different class, which is like pre-algebra 1/2. And it can kind of be a little confusing. But from my understanding and all of the research that I have done, Saxon 8-7 is for anyone who has done great in 7-6 and didn't struggle toward the end. Saxon pre-algebra 1/2 is more work and review of 8-7. And these are the newer editions. I know that there are some older editions that have a little bit of a different scope with them. So that's why what we're considering, simply because she's with Saxon. She has done Saxon for 5-4, 6-5, and now 7-6. So this is her third year of Saxon. There's just a level of comfort in that area and all the things. I'm trying to think of what else. Okay, so that was my first thing, was to decide on between 8-7 and pre-algebra or algebra 1/2 for Saxon. But then also I started doing some research and came across Shoreman Math, which I have heard amazing things about. I am in the process of planning my girls for graduation, especially my oldest. And so there are just some steps that I'm going to take differently now that we're in upper middle school, 7th grade, that will help set us on the upward extension is what I'll say, into high school for success. And this is one of them. This is a pivotal moment in what she needs to do for her math curricula. So I just want to make sure that we're on the right track. So when I started looking at Shoreman Math, I looked at Shoreman Math's pre-algebra course, and then their algebra 1, algebra 2, which also incorporates geometry within those two, and how far she could go. I also was looking at online possibilities because yes, I am good at math. I enjoy it, but she and I don't think alike when it comes to math concepts. So there were some, there's just been some differences in that have caused a little bit of difficulty along the way. And that's okay. She's not right and I'm wrong, and I'm not right and she's wrong. We're just different and we don't think the same. So I'm also thinking about transitioning my girls to something more online. Now, we have been almost 100% offline family as far as curriculum goes for homeschooling. And that was a choice. I did not want them to be dependent on being online and all the bells and whistles. And she didn't like teaching textbooks. She didn't want to be online. And so that's why we transitioned away from that. So anyway, going back to Shoreman, it is online. And I've talked with my girls already, and I spoke with her, and she doesn't want to do anything online. But that's not the reality of her generation, and in all of us. We are online a lot. And so there's a need for that aspect too in the transition. There are also some benefits that I see with Shorman in that, she's going to have to learn how to take notes, being online, transitioning to that, answering questions. It's just a whole different thing that is going to be necessary, especially as she enters into high school. And on top of that, the curriculum for Shorman Math is great. Now, here's the problem. You have Saxon Math and Shorman. Dr. Shorman, from what I've researched, pulled a lot of the concepts and processes from Saxon Math. And so there are lots of similarities between the two curricula. So that's kind of where I am torn at the moment when it comes to math for my oldest daughter. While she wants to stay with Saxon and do everything offline, and she also enjoys the warm-ups that Saxon Math gives. And from what I researched, and I'm going to keep saying that because I know people are going to say, did you find this? And I'm sure there are lots of things that I've overlooked, but from what I saw, Shorman Math also does warm-ups. It's online, but it's just a little bit different. But still the same concept. You're working on math facts. There's still the mental math portion of it, which she absolutely loves, and it is a need for her as well, because it just really helps to get her thinking. And so I don't know where to go. Cost wise, Saxon for books, from my understanding, is going to be more expensive, whereas Shorman Math for the pre-algebra course is around $100 for the full year. There's tons of benefits with that too, is that someone else is grading the work, which she gets immediate feedback. I'll say that. There's immediate feedback. When you click on your answer, it gives you immediate feedback. They also provide, in which we have not gone through them yet, but they provide sample lessons. I want to say there are maybe 5 sample lessons, and it hits on different areas throughout the curricula. So maybe like lesson 5, and then it goes to maybe lesson 40, and then 70, and then 80 something, somewhere in there. There are also not as many lessons in the Shorman pre-algebra as opposed to the Saxon 8-7 or their pre-algebra course, which has like 120 lessons plus the investigations plus the test. The quizzes for Shorman Math are more often than the quizzes or tests for Saxon, which are every 10 lessons. Shorman Math has a quiz every 5 lessons. So that's a benefit. They're both spiral curricula. So yeah, I really don't know. I don't know what is going to be the deciding factor, honestly. I don't know. There are online options for the Saxon 8-7 and Algebra 1/2, like the Dive, which is a part of it's on the Shorman curriculum is on that site, but the Dive CDs for Saxon, there's also My Math Assist, and then people talked about Nicole the Math Lady, and we tried Nicole the Math Lady, I believe, with Saxon 6-5, and she didn't like it. I think Nicole the Math Lady is more geared toward the younger ages and curricula for Saxon Math, so she didn't really like that very much. So she hasn't had a great online experience, which is carrying over into her thoughts about the Shorman Math online curriculum as well. So I'm trying to think, are there anything else? No, that's really it. She has a math notebook and all the things. So I don't know. I don't know what the deciding factor is going to be. I think they are both rigorous curricula and going to support her in what she is needing and advancing within math and preparing her for algebra. I also love, as I said, Shorman for Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, you get geometry included. You get half a credit for Algebra 1 and then half a credit of geometry for Algebra 2. So by the time you finish Algebra 2, you have all 3 of your high school math credits, which is amazing. I think that's awesome. From my understanding, Saxon does not do that, but they both have advanced math curricula available. So right now, my focus, especially for my rising 7th grader, is longevity. I do not want to continue to bounce around. We have been with Saxon for 3 years, which is great, and I love that. But there are some things that are appealing about Shorman, and Shorman will take her all the way to graduation. So either one of them, we can go all the way to graduation. So I just got to figure out what is that last little thing that's going to help me separate the two to make my final decision. There are so many benefits to both of them. So I don't know. That's where I am with 7th grade math. Okay, let's talk about my rising sixth grader for math. So her math history is what she's taken before. She has done Spectrum workbooks, and then she did teaching textbooks for 2 years, and now she has done Horizons Math for 2 years. So she did Horizons 4 and 5. I can't say that we loved any of them or hated any of them. Horizons Math has been great for her. The issue with sticking with Horizons is that I have seen Horizon 6. The reviews that I've seen for Horizon 6 have not really made it something that I feel like we have to stay married to, simply because she's been doing Horizons Math for the last 2 years. So with that, it makes me think, okay, longevity again. Where can we go in transition for longevity? Horizons Math goes up to Algebra 1. So when I started researching their algebra curriculum, I didn't like it. I didn't like how it presented the material. I just didn't care for it. And so that was an issue. So we are definitely going to switch from Horizons Math to something else. Now, here is the kicker, guys. I was thinking, okay, she can just go over to Saxon Math and it'll be great. No problem. She can transition and go right into 7-6. Well, in the last month or month and a half, we've kind of gotten to this point to where she just seems a little bored. She's able to do 2 or 3 lessons in one day. She's getting everything correct. And I'm like, let me test her and see, or assess her. It's not a test. Assess her and see where she would fall within the Saxon Math curriculum. And you guys, oh my gosh, she tested for going into Saxon 8-7. She's ending her 5th grade year right now. 8-7 is for a 7th grader on grade level 7th grader, or an 8th grader who needs more review. So that would be her skipping an entire year. And I say skipping, she knows the information. So on the Saxon placement test, there are multiple sections for each grade level. And she has to get at least 16 of the 20 right in each one of those sections. So when she got to Saxon 8-7, she actually missed 5. So that would mean, okay, no, she can't go into 8-7 according to that. However, 3 of the 5 questions that she missed are things that she had not covered yet within her Horizons 5, but that are on the Horizons 5 curriculum that she is currently going over right now. I hope that makes sense. So there were concepts that are in her Horizons 5 book that she hasn't gone over. They're like in the last 10 lessons. And so that's why she missed 3 of the 5 questions on the Saxon Math placement test to be put in 8-7. And she's doing great at those concepts now. So she knows exactly how to do them. She's not missing any problems. I just can't believe it. And I don't want to hold her back, but I also don't want to push her forward. And in preparing for high school, that's another thing. If you look at the timeline, if my 6th grader, she'll be 6th grade next year, takes pre-algebra 6th grade, she'll do algebra 1, 7th grade, algebra 2, 8th grade, she's already taken 2 of her high school credits as a middle schooler. Some states you can't do that. Some states you cannot get high school credit in any grade less than 8th grade. And I would hate for her to have to take those over again, and after she does well, because I'm sure that she will, and have to take those again into high school. So that's a part of my high school planning. I'm researching that right now and really digging deep so that I can find that out for sure. Either way, I don't want to hold her back. So I don't want to stop her from moving forward to whatever level she should go towards. So my math considerations are the same. They're the same for my 7th grader as well as my 6th grader, rising 6th and 7th grader. Are they going to do Saxon 8-7, or are they going to do Shorman Math pre-algebra? It's the same for both of them. I will have 2 daughters in the same math level this upcoming school year. I'm trying to figure out. One thing that I like more about Saxon and even Shorman Math for my rising 6th grader is the math facts practice at the beginning. Horizons Math does not have that. and she's great at her math facts anyway, but it's just something to kind of the warm-up piece to it, and also the mental math. There is no concentrated mental math within Horizons Math, whereas Saxon does have that. So that's where I am with that. I just don't know, and I'm kind of like, my baby. But if she's ready, she's ready. And one thing about it is if we get to that level and she's doing it and she seems to struggle a lot, we can always back up a little bit. We can always extend the time that it takes for her to complete that course, because there's no rush in it, especially if she's having struggles with it. We can always slow down, and so that makes sure that she gets the repetition that she needs, or that spiral learning that she needs for that specific curricula. So there's no rush to do it. I don't know. Tell me what you think. What would you do? I am deep in thought about that, because of course I want to make the right decision, but and I don't want to discourage her by giving her something that's way above what she could do. But she did the test. She didn't have the answers. I didn't help her. She did that on her own. So that is her work, and she's very math minded. I've known this for a while. She is my STEM girl, all things robotics and coding and numbers and all the things, and she gets at it very, very quickly. So this is her area, and I just want to foster that for her to help her be the best that she can be and reach whatever it is that she's trying to reach. She talks about becoming an engineer, so she's going to need that math, and she will need higher level math. So that's where I am with my 6th grader. Make sure you guys subscribe. As I said, I'm doing math today. I will do ELA coming up, and I want to know your thoughts. All right, here we go. Let's talk about my 2nd grader, or rising 2nd grader. I keep saying that, but y'all get it, right? So for 2nd grade, her math journey is she has used Saxon Math. She used Saxon Math K, and we are currently in Saxon Math 1. And I will tell you guys that I had already purchased Saxon Math 2. I purchased it at a very low cost at the beginning of this school year. And I will not do that again, like for anything. Because if you followed along, you know, we kind of took a turn with Saxon Math, and she still is enjoying it, but she needs that color. She likes workbook style. Saxon Math is not super workbook style with all the color and the different games and, you know, things like that. It's not like that. And so while she does well at it, it's just not something that I feel like we need to do right now. It's a little bit too serious for her right now. And I mean for her, because I think that it could have worked, especially for my middle daughter, but it's just too serious for her. Is she capable and able to do all of everything that we're working on? Yes, she does not struggle with doing the math. It's just a struggle because it's not really appealing to her, and that's it. So some things that I really like about Saxon are the math facts. My youngest daughter is doing math facts right now in Saxon Math 1, and I think that is an amazing thing to have, and we can work on that in another curricula if that curriculum doesn't have it. So that's not really something that was going to make me stay with it. So I'm telling you now, we will not be doing Saxon Math Level 2. And I did say a prayer, because I said I bought it and I hate to waste things and I don't want to waste money. But I said, okay, Lord, if I can sell this curricula and get back half of what I spent on it, then I will search high and low to find something else with the money after selling this. And that's exactly what happened. I posted it for sale. I still have the teacher's manual, but I bought that used for like, I don't know, 15 bucks. And I had the student sheets and packets that I bought, and I was able to sell them. And I sold it to one of my awesome subscribers. She reached out to me when I placed it on Facebook for the marketplace. And she's like, I love your YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So she bought that from me. So now I'm going to use that money to buy something else. I just don't know what that something else is going to be just yet. So here are some things that I was thinking of. I am considering Horizons Math Level 2. I have never used the lower levels. The lowest I've ever used was 4th grade, but a lot of people go from Horizons Math K through 3, and then they go into Saxon Math 5-4. I don't know if that's where she will go, if we will go back to Saxon Math 5-4 for her, but Horizons Math is an option. It's solid, it's spiral, it has all of the color, it has the games. There's a couple of things I don't like. There's not a whole lot of space to write. It does lots of spiral, lots of review, but you can always just mark those problems out and not have your child do them. Some things that I don't like is that it does not have math fact practice. However, I can create math facts on my own. I have the Saxon flashcards from math facts, so I don't have to worry about that because that's something that we can still work on even though we're not using Saxon math. There are tons of books out there to help you with math facts and songs and all the things. So that's not really a thing that's going to make me say that we have to stay with Saxon math. So we're not going to stay with Saxon math. Okay. Another one that I'm considering is math with confidence. She would go into level 2 with math with confidence. I've looked at the placement test for both of these. That's how I know that it would be okay for her to go into level 2. However, I don't know if math with confidence is the amount of rigor that she needs added in with all the color and the fun and the games. There's mixed reviews out there that it could be too gentle, that it's not on grade level, and she is learning at and sometimes above grade level. So I don't want to go to a curricula that is going to have her not be on grade level and us take a couple of steps back. So with that, I've really had to consider that. So I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I'm still in the researching phases for second grade math coming up. Horizons and Math with Confidence, they both have all of the color and games and everything that goes along with that. I just don't know. I don't know which one. As far as cost wise, brand new Math with Confidence is going to be a lower cost than Horizons level 2. Horizons level 2 is about $120, and then Math with Confidence grade 2, I believe, is coming in at $80 to $90. So there's a difference of like $30 to $40 in cost, which makes a difference. That little $30 to $40, I say little, but that makes a difference. That's the difference between buying another book of some sort or, reading books that your child may need. I mean, that makes a huge difference. So I don't want to make it seem like $30 or $40 is like chump change, because it's not. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about that. Just being able to supplement the different areas. I don't want to create gaps. I mean, we talk about that all the time, and you definitely create gaps when you hop around. So once again, even though my child is far from high school, I'm still trying to find longevity in what we're using. And I feel like my oldest was kind of like the guinea pig, but she's done so well. I have not seen a single moment in which she had gaps within her math learning. We've gotten to a really good place. She has used Saxon for 3 years. And so I want to just kind of provide that stability for all of my girls, especially when it comes to math, because I feel like math curricula are so all over the place sometimes, of what they cover. And that's one thing that dawned on me as my 5th and 6th grader now were working in their math, one in Horizons 5 and the other one in Saxon 7-6. And they're working on the same concepts. And I'm like, wait a minute, maybe not at the exact same time. Like, my oldest daughter was working on a concept within like the first 60 lessons, and then my middle daughter started hers within the last, I'll say 60 lessons or so. And so, but for them to be doing those same concepts in the same year, I thought, wow, so Horizons is a little bit more advanced and a little bit more rigor. And that's okay. I like that. If they can handle it and it works with their learning and their learning style, then I figure, why not? So that's where I am with math for my girls. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you stick around, and I'll see you on the next video for ELA.